And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider. Today, the Washington Commanders dominate the Tennessee Titans 42-19. Wanted to start with the first key takeaway from this game, and it's defensively for the Washington Commanders. I think that they did a terrific job in holding the Tennessee Titans down to 19 points today. More importantly, I wanted to go ahead and point out Mike Sammerstill. I think that Mike Sammerstill did a terrific job as far as coming up in run support. This is something that, as I've been watching the games, I've been seeing that he's been excellent at coming up in run support. I think as far as being a cover corner, I think that this is something that he's getting better at. He did give up a touchdown today, but Mike Sammerstill did, in fact, force a turnover and actually a critical fumble, which helped set up the Washington Commanders get a score. And so I think Mike Sammerstill really stood out today defensively for the Washington Commanders. And just how good were the Washington Commanders defense? Well, today they only gave up 35 rushing yards to the Tennessee Titans, considering that Tony Pollard had a really big week last week and that the Washington Commanders have been getting really gashed by other teams as far as running the football. That was a big sign for the Washington Commanders to come out and really dominate up front and stop this team and hold them down to 35 yards rushing. So I think that that was key for the Washington Commanders today. And then when you look at the yards per play, well, the defense held the Titans to 4.9 yards per play. So that is pretty good as well. And then as far as the third down efficiency, I think that the Washington Commanders did a great job as far as keeping Tennessee really off the field. Once that third down marker hit, they were 5 of 12. So the efficiency wasn't there for the Tennessee Titans. So doing a great job as far as getting off the field and forcing the Tennessee Titans to punt the football. They also were 0-1 on their fourth down efficiency. So a great job there taking away that one fourth down attempt. And so they also limit the Tennessee Titans to 50 plays. And so that is another great sign for the defense. And 2 sacks on the day for the Washington Commanders defense. And I know that this Tennessee Titans team gave up, I think, 5+ last week. And so at least they got 2 today. I did talk about how this defense has been heating up. And so I think that this was a great team effort on the defensive end. Hopefully this is something that they can build upon, especially stopping the Tennessee Titans from running the football like this. I think that this is something that you hope that the Washington Commanders get better at. If they get Marshawn Lattimore back next week, hopefully they can take away some of these splash plays, and suddenly this defense becomes a little elite down the stretch. And so with that being said, let's shift focus and look at the offensive side of the ball, because there were a couple standouts here. And I want to start with Brian Robinson Jr. Look, 16 carries, 103 yards, 6.4 average, and 1 touchdown. He had a huge 40-yard touchdown in this game. And so coming into this, I was wondering how healthy Brian Robinson Jr. was going to be with that ankle injury. It didn't look good last week. He wasn't able to play a whole bunch last week. They were without Austin Eckler, who was on the IR going into this game. And I was thinking that there were going to be a lot of other running backs that were going to have to step up today. But Brian Robinson Jr., he was ready. And as this team really is really in sync, they're flowing, they're running the football well. It starts with Brian Robinson Jr., and he had a great day today. So ran with a lot of power, hit the hose with a lot of burst out there as well. So that was great to see him hit, those open portions when they were opening up, with the running lanes and things like that. So that was good for him. But I like what we saw from Chris Rodriguez Jr. as well, because I was wondering with Chris Rodriguez Jr., would we see him or would we see Jeremy McNichols? And I'm glad that the Washington Commanders went back and they got Chris Rodriguez Jr. Remember, I talked about him being re-signed back, and I don't think he should have been let go in the first place. But to see him back, 13 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown today, a 7.2 average. And more importantly, like, this Tennessee Titans defense is very good against the run. I had talked about this in the pregame video, just how good defensively the Titans have been. And so for us to be able to run the football today against a very good unit that is sixth in yards per carry and ninth in running yards per game. So that was good to see from the Washington Commanders. In fact, today we had a total of 267 rushing yards today. So very good as far as getting back to our identity and running the football. And so next up, Jaden Daniels. So Jaden Daniels looked 25 of 30. Yes, he did turn the football over, but he did a great job as far as getting the football into the end zone today. Look, 3 touchdowns. He had 114.7 rating, which was good. Did take the 2 sacks here, but look, I think that Jaden Daniels was you could tell he's a lot more healthier than he was the last couple weeks here. Looked like things were flowing a bit better for him in the pocket. And I think that I like some of the offensive wrinkles that we saw with the team today. Like I love that little RPO that we had that ended in a touchdown to Zach Ertz. I like that. There was a lot of moving pieces to that, and that's something that I think that this offense is going to have to continue to do. You know, have to continue to get a lot of movement, kind of make this defenses think a little bit more as the season continues. So it was good to see that Jaden Daniels, this offense, was able to take care of business and score the football the way that they did today. And Terry McLaurin, look, I know we don't have a legit number 2 wide receiver alongside of Terry McLaurin, but Terry McLaurin just continues to get it done. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns today, 8 receptions, 73 yards, a 9.1 average. And so, look, it doesn't matter if you throw another offensive coordinator out there, another quarterback. Look, scary Terry McLaurin just finds ways to get it done. A big win here for him today. And Zach Ertz, look, he's the second best, I think, wide receiver for us today. 3 receptions, 35 yards, 11.7 average. He had a touchdown. I thought it was going to be Noah Brown today. He didn't have an injury designation going into this game, even though he gave us a little bit of a scare with a little popping up on the injury report with a knee injury. And so didn't see too much of him today, just 3 receptions, 27 yards. I still think that this is something that the Washington Commanders are going to have to figure out moving forward, especially as the game slows down, if this team is able to hopefully qualify for the playoffs. But a dominant win for the Washington Commanders today. And I think that, really, I think the Washington Commanders got it going from the start. I mean, because they were able to jump on the Titans 28-0, really had them in a hole right there with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. And so this team pretty much, kind of ended the game early on. And I think that they did a great job as far as just not letting the Tennessee Titans get back into the football game, even though the Titans did try to scrap their way back. And so a good win for the Washington Commanders. It's good to see that they have snapped this 3-game losing streak, and hopefully they can put it together here for their next one. Just to give you some more stats about how efficient they were. Look, 29 first downs today. They were 9 of 14 as far as third down efficiency. We were 1 of 1 on our fourth down efficiencies. Did give up the 2 sacks. I talked about that. Only punted once today. But more importantly, I've talked about this stat a couple times. This is something that was talked about too on like Locked On Commanders. But the time of possession, the Washington Commanders win the time of possession 40 minutes and 12 seconds compared to the Titans 19 minutes and 48 seconds. And so they really, really won that as far as the time of possession. So a great overall team game from the Washington Commanders. Hopefully they can package this up and get ready for this next game here. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this recent win from the Washington Commanders. Is this the win that is going to help this team, in fact, to get it going? They do have a big game next week against the New Orleans Saints. So hopefully we can take our show on the road and get a win against the Saints. We'll be talking about this win a little bit more and breaking down some of the keys to the game. This is Rico. This is Washington Commanders Insider, and I'll see you on the next one. All right. Peace.